The headline, okay? I'm not an Afrobeat artist. I am an African artist. We have to push Africa as a whole. If we are pushing only Afrobeats, we are just limiting ourselves, all right? This is from Flavor, all right, on Afrobeats podcast, okay? Adeshope Show.
We as a culture don't mention your name in those conversations.
I don't. Trust me, I don't. Because what you guys are talking about mostly is Afrobeat.
But I'm not Afrobeat.
I'm not. What I'm doing is African music. Yeah. Because when you talk, there's Fali Pupa, there's other guys. These guys mustn't be Afrobeat. So
Facts.
most times the media just talk about Afrobeat.
Yes, sir.
They're not talking about African music. If you talk about African music, of course you have to mention my name. You understand?
All right, let's fire some spanking new exclusive right here on this channel, TJ Studios. It's a lovely day, a beautiful midday in the course of the week, Wednesday. It is my day. I am a Wednesday born, and yeah, let's do this. Let's fire some spanking new exclusives. On the bill, well, let's look at something within the entertainment industry of the African region. As you know that I am noted for sharing exclusives within that context, all right? It's in line with Nigerian artist Flavor, all right, has expounded on something on Adeshope's show and Adeshope's podcast, and I want us to look into it. I will do my bit by sharing my opinion in a Pan-African stance. I'm going to stand in the middle and face it from both ends. And then right after that, I'm going to leave the rest to you, my cherished viewer, for your submission and opinion as well. The headline, okay? I'm not an Afrobeat artist. I am an African artist. We have to push Africa as a whole. If we are pushing only Afrobeats, we are just limiting ourselves, all right? This is from Flavor, all right, on Afrobeats podcast, okay? Adeshope Show. Okay, now let's look into it and dissect it accordingly, all right? But before I do that, it will be fair and square to watch the video to get the narrative of what Flavor said, and then when we come back, I will share my opinion and my thoughts of it. Let's watch the video and come back.
We as a culture don't mention your name in those conversations.
I don't. Trust me, I don't. Because what you guys are talking about mostly is Afrobeat.
But I'm not Afrobeat.
I'm not. What I'm doing is African music. Yeah. Because when you talk, there's Fali Pupa, there's other guys. These guys mustn't be Afrobeat. So
Facts.
most times the media just talk about Afrobeat.
Yes, sir.
They're not talking about African music. If you talk about African music, of course you have to mention my name. You understand?
You don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
You gotta talk about Flavor. You have to talk about Fali Pupa. You have to
Diamond. So many guys.
Platinum.
So you see, is like I always say this to the media. I say to them, I say, yeah, I know Afrobeat is popping and we're trying to, But I don't just think Afrobeat is popping. I think Africa is
music.
Africa as a whole, not just the music.
I agree.
The culture, the fashion, everything about Africa is popping. We have to push all.
Facts.
We have to push Africa. But if we're pushing only Afrobeat, we're limiting ourselves.
Facts.
And very soon, it's almost time. You could see, it's almost time. Everybody is denying.
Do you know that?
I'm not this.
Okay, so yeah, welcome back. Interesting submission from Flavor, an artist I respect a lot, a Nigerian artist. I love his songs. I love Flavor's songs, especially his live sessions, I just love him as an artist, and his heart and his zeal to supporting a whole lot of people, including Sema. I love Flavor. All right, now let's get into why we are here. This narrative of Flavor, it's quite interesting and quite, a dicey topic to touch on. Yes, we know Flavor is not into mainstream Afrobeat as a genre, And we know that Afrobeat is the order of the day now. All right, the order of the day in the media, wherever, not only in Nigeria, in Africa, the world, Afrobeat is the order of the day. Flavor is not predominantly an Afrobeat artist, and I basically sometimes refer to him as a mix of Afrobeat high life ensemble and African generated ensemble of music. So yes, Flavor is not mentioned on the waves, is not mentioned in the media like, Afrobeat because of the style of music he does. His focus is fixated on African music as an artist, and he wants us to also look at their side and other African artists such as himself and then Fally Ipupa and the likes of other African acts who are doing original African genres out there. I'm not referring to rap, neither am I referring to dancehall. It is not our original call card in Africa. So to understand, like I said, it is dicey to talk about this issue in that regard. But in the instance of where Flavor is coming from, yes, I think it's true. We cannot promote just any other African, music. Flavor's mentioning of African music does not mean that we can just pick any other genre and promote it and talk about it. What will we do with rap, which is not original, which is not even one of the sought after genres in Africa. It has its limits when you are a rapper, because you can't be categorized in a rap category of awards. It's difficult for you to go out there and outshine American rappers because they are not dominantly or predominantly known for that. So that is another concern. We also cannot promote reggae and dancehall. It is not our route, although it was seen to be a dominant figure in an African-related country, Jamaica. They are not part of the African continent. They are mostly, and they are basically known in the Caribbean. So we can relate it to that, aspect, all right? But African genres, just like, Cameroon's Makossa, and then African genres, just like, Fally Ipupa, Diamond Platinums, their style of music can be looked into and then given the needed attention to be pushed like African music. Yes, to an extent, the kind of songs Flavor produces, the kind of rhythm, for him to be able to sing live. I call Flavor, an Afropop, Afrobeat, and majority of a high life Igbo and Nigeria, all right, dominant force of music and genres, which has a blend of a whole lot of ensembles of music origins fused into producing one particular genre of flavor. So flavor cannot be boxed into one genre, right? So yes, his assertion and his narrative, basically his narrative is true. We should look at African artists and African music in general and promote it as such. Now, the other side of the coin of this submission has to do with, are other Africans also willing to work hard and push their genres like Afrobeat? Because Afrobeat is dominating because it has been marketed and pushed well. I'm saying the other side. I respect Flavor. I'm not, mincing words with what he's saying. It's true. Okay. So Afrobeat is the order of the day because it has been marketed well, it has been branded well, and artists are enjoying dominance and producing good music. That is not to say Flavor style of music is not doing well, but because Afrobeat is on a trajectory of now being the genre out there, it has affected affected us from not looking at African music in perspective, from the likes of Awilo Longoba, who are into this East African type of music, beautiful style of music. You can relatively Freddie Mayway, also part of the Ivory Coast, part of music legends. These are all legends, and we can also look at Angelique Kidjo, their style of music. These are all African music and African origin genres in our space. All right, this has brought forth the likes of Diamond Platinum and Fally Ipupa, who can go to France. These artists, Fally Ipupa, Diamond Platinum, are able to fill bigger auditoriums in France. All right. So other African journalists, other African artists can look at what Flavor is saying in all positivity and also build their craft, not to toe the line of Afrobeat, because it's a different talent and a different breed of artists there in the Afrobeat category who do not rest on their oars, are energetic, and they want to produce and be out there in the international domain. We can say same if other African journalists are also pushing themselves well for us to be here and to be talking about it. Shout outs to Fali Ipupa, shout outs to Diamond Platinums. We respect them because it's not like the ordinary Ghanaian mindset where they want to compete and then claim supremacy over Niger music space. They have their own space and their own journey, and they are towing that line, and that is what I respect. Same as Flavor, a respected artist in Africa, all right, also in his own lane, and has his own journey and is towing within that line, all right. So I feel that yes, sometimes we are all clouded, and we sometimes, let's face the fact, we do not pay heed to other journeys just as we do with Afrobeat. But African journalists, like I mentioned, are also doing extremely well, and they are towing their own line, and we respect them for that. I will urge them to also be energetic and put in a lot more effort to enable us talk about it, because we talk about what people can relate to, and then even if people cannot relate to it, we bring it to our fold, educate people, and sensitize them to what this artist. I have done a breakdown of Flavors music on my channel, and you can go and check it out. I love that song. I love it. All right, you know the kind of song I'm referring to. So Flavor's current style of music is a well-respected one, and I feel as an African genre, and we give him, or we will give him all the accolades and respect needed of the whole needed of him, and then Africans to also respect him accordingly in the track line of his music career. All right, so what are your thoughts and your opinions about this topic? It is delicate to touch on, as you have to stay in the middle and face it from both ends. But I don't know if what I'm saying you agree or disagree with me on the editorial session. Let's do this. All right, it's a democratic dispensation of a channel. You are free to share your thoughts with me in the comment section, and then also do the needful by subscribing and then or adding up to the notification bell by hitting it. Smash the notification bell, which is going to enable you to get notified whenever I post any new video. Tell a friend to tell a friend about TJ Studios. We are growing, and I appreciate everybody on this channel. Like I've been saying, I can't do this alone. If I'm producing content and nobody's watching, it means that I'm doing nothing. All right, that is why I respect my viewers and subscribers a lot. All right, shout outs to you, my people. It is time to go. I'll be coming your way in the evening with one more content right here on this channel. I salute you and peace out.